started, I'm a survivor. And first of all, as most of you probably already know, and I think it took a great deal of resiliency to exit and remain resilient. But over the years, working in nonprofits and, you know, traveling and just really getting into this work, I decided that there was something missing. And I kept hearing about self-care and, you know, this, and what does all that really mean? So what I wanted to do was I watched a program. I actually got a little certificate in it from the Office of Victims of Crime Training and Technical Assistance. And I developed a program called Individual and Organizational Resiliency and Working with Lived Experienced Experts, or survivors, as we sometimes call ourselves. And I did that because I noticed the amount of resiliency it not only takes to exit, but to continue to do this work. And I've been doing it over 2 decades. So you go through different phases when you're in this movement, and it's important to have self-care, right? But I swear if I hear self-care one more time without somebody explaining what that means and how to do that, right? And I've learned tools over the years, and I've been guilty of using the whole self-care. Excuse me, I'm not even going to talk about sex or prostitution here, and this is my only speech that I'm not going to talk about it, so let's get it. So anyway, I decided that, you know, it's important to know what that means. And self-care, when you're really in the throes of a moment where you need resilience, whether personally or organizationally, and someone tells you, well, just go take some self-care. That's wonderful. But what we need sometimes is sometimes people to explain what that means. And more importantly, we need community care. We need to have a community around us that says, we've got free yoga for you. We've got free chiropractic or massage, or we've got the space to walk in the park, or maybe we need a little reminder. So there's a great article, and because I'm in love with the app for this conference, it's already posted in there under articles to read, and it talks about the difference between self-care and community care. So I will let you read that, but it is amazing. It says, the title is Self-Care Isn't Enough. We Need Community Care to Thrive. And it's by Heather Dockeray. And so with that being said, please read that article. It's really good, and it talks about what community care versus self-care is. And I mean, everybody, the cool thing about being resilient is you get to pick what your mechanism to be resilient looks like. Yours may be very different from mine. A walk in nature is brilliant for me. Some people listen to music, some people pray, or have some sort of spiritual activity, but we all get to choose, right, what that looks like. And that's the cool part about it. And the way you do it may not be the way I do it. And that's okay, as long as you bounce back. And, you know, I guess I go through a cycle about every 6 months where I say, oh, no, I'm not doing this work anymore. I'm really done this time. I promise y'all. But inevitably, I'm still here, right? and it's just because I haven't done I might not have done the things that worked for me to keep me resilient in the movement. And so sometimes what worked for me 20 years ago and what works for me today is very different, right? And so we get to change, and we get to you know, be empowered to figure that out for ourselves. And hopefully within our community, there's the resources. A lot of times I teach this to organizations and, you know, putting things in place in your organization, like exercise programs, whether it's a discount or it's free, or, you know, just offering the opportunities. I know when I was doing the work in a nonprofit, we had EMDR therapists, and all of our staff got paid to go, and they also got the therapy for free. I mean, and that was a partnership with Shapiro, who created EMDR. And so there's things that you can do that don't necessarily have to be in a budget. And I go in depth on that in my trainings. Oh, good. I've got 5 minutes left. So in the spirit of one thing I teach, and especially to law enforcement, and they love it, I'm being sarcastic now, is a butterfly hug, right? Sometimes, and some of you know about it, but a butterfly hug will get you back in your body. So when I'm in a conference like this, and I'll probably be in the bathroom doing it, you can go right to the bathroom and just give yourself a butterfly hug. If you're feeling like there's unsettled or there's some sort of trauma coming up, it'll bring you right back into your body. Now, police officers, when I tell them, they'll be the only table going, yeah, right, lady, you're crazy. But give yourself a butterfly hug if you're comfortable with it. It really does bring you back into your body. Even Sesame Street's doing it now. How cool is that? But anyway, so there's, in terms of our organizational resiliency, also, there's a man out of Cornell University, a doctor actually, Greg Ells, and he did a TED Talk, and I'll post it in this wonderful app. But he has an acronym called SAVES, and it's, the S stands for social connection, which basically means do something for somebody else. Sometimes that looks like, for me, saying hello in the morning to somebody I don't know, the janitor maybe, or the gentleman that rides the bus, that drives the bus around for us. Do something for somebody else. Attitude. What does your attitude look and feel like? There's certain days where I feel great, and there's certain days where I have a little tude, But check into that. Check into your values. Are you doing what are you in alignment with your values? And then the last one is silliness, and that's my favorite one because I love to laugh and I love to have fun. So I will post that in the wonderful app, and I'm going to leave you with a quote. And the quote is by Steve Maraboli, and it says, "Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient." Thank you.